what's up guys? Talk movies with us, back again for another movie review, and this time we are going to be reviewing Ocean's 11, not the George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon. This one is from the 60s.
Yes.
Starring the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin. And you might be wondering why we are reviewing a movie that's damn near almost 60 years old. Well, why are we reviewing this movie?
This one was requested by one of our Patreons, NHB Reviews, and listen, we don't watch a lot of really old movies, so it was kind of nice to branch out and see something that otherwise we probably would never have watched.
Yes, and this is from our top tier Patreon where you guys get to request a movie for us to review.
Yes.
And we put a vote out, and Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11.
So, a quick summary of this movie. Danny Ocean, of course, played by the great Frank Sinatra, gathers up a team of his old buddies from the war who he fought with in World War II, and he gangs up a group of 11 men to go pull off one of the biggest heists ever by robbing 5 Las Vegas casinos in one night.
So when we first looked up this movie, we saw that it was in black and white.
Yes.
The pros is that they actually remastered it in color. So that's a pro. I don't mind black and white movies, but I'm glad that it wasn't in black and white.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the soundtrack. I know that there's one song that they kind of play every time there's a certain vehicle, like, in the scene, and the song kind of did get annoying after a while. But other than that, I did like the old school music, and you know, the acting back then was so different, the acting style, and I kind of appreciate it.
You could appreciate it. It's really tough to review because, I mean, I'm not against watching old films, but you know, all we know is today.
Yeah.
And it's very, you know, the play's like, hey, what are you doing, ass? Huh? Hey, we're gonna go rob the banks today. I'm gonna go rob the casinos. You know, it's like,
you know, what I would say is the humor is what was way different back then.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate very well to these days. Like, I'm sure there were a lot of jokes that we didn't really get because we weren't around back then. I didn't hate it, but I think that it was way too long. And leading up to the actual heist itself, it was like an hour. So the movie's about 2 hours long, and I would say an hour and 40 minutes of it is them planning the whole thing out. It's
exposition.
It droned on and on and on.
I mean, one of the positives of it is, of course, seeing the Rat Pack, you know, interact together. You know, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis, Dean Martin. You know, these guys are. They had swag before swag was ever a thing, man. They had great chemistry. They were just the coolest people back in the day. I mean, I'm sure I could go to my grandfather or anybody and talk about them, and they were the bee's knees back then. And to see them all in a movie together, I know they've done a bunch of films together, but whenever they were in a film together, it was a big deal. So seeing them on screen and interact with each other was really cool. We got 2 musical performances each by Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin. You know, those were fun to watch. You know, classic, iconic songs.
Oh, you were singing along.
Yeah, that, you know, ain't that a kick in the head, you know. All that stuff was, you know, I could appreciate it. You know, am I going to want to watch this movie every day? And no, I mean, it's very dated, and a lot of it, I don't think it holds up all that well today, but I could appreciate the old-timiness of the film. Definitely. And one of the things that I got from watching this, it's when you watch a lot of old films, is I feel like I was watching more of a Broadway play instead of a movie.
Because the sets are obvious sets. And
yeah, they look like, you know, sets that you would see on Broadway.
Yeah. I mean, the people who, you know, when they created films back in the day, they put so much time and effort into these sets. I mean, nowadays, you know, like on the computer, create a scene from green screen. They didn't have that back then.
You can't even compare technology from then till now, but
you do appreciate the art, you know. You appreciate it in different ways from then and now.
Yeah, but like you said, those were the positives, is watching all them on screen together interact. The negatives were, like you said, a long time for this thing to get going. A lot of chit-chat, a lot of it.
And I must say, even when it finally came for the whole heist to happen, it happened on New Year's Eve, You know,
Yeah.
they shut down the electricity in these casinos, and it just wasn't even like a big climatic moment.
No.
It kind of was just them getting into the safe and grabbing the money.
Yeah.
Like nobody was even watching the safe.
Yeah.
So confused.
And then
but-
we're like, oh, movie's over, and then it just ends. you
yeah,
know?
very, very sudden.
Just, I mean, one of those we would have probably never watched, but now I'm kind of glad we did get around to watching it, just to see all these classic, you know, icons from back in the day on
Yeah,
one
that I
screen
must say
together.
was really cool. And I've actually never seen the newer Ocean's 11 either. I haven't seen that. Don't hate me.
Yeah,
but,
no, they're totally different. They just took the name of the movie, basically. That's it.
but you know, now I'm interested in kind of seeing it just so that I can do a comparison of them.
So it'll probably be a lot more watchable. Not to hate on it, you know, we could appreciate it. Did we love it?
Definitely appreciate it.
Not really. But
All right,
so
grading.
what are we grading it?
I'm gonna give it a C, only because there was a few positives, and like we said, we can appreciate the art and appreciate the film with the actors that were in it and everything, but just not something I'm gonna jump to watch again.
No. I'll go C+.
Okay.
You know, we can appreciate it. You know, does it hold up all that great? Probably not. But, you know, it's a classic. It's iconic.
It is.
I mean, if you ask your grandfather, what do you think of Ocean's 11? They're gonna tell you it's the greatest thing of all time.
I think my grandfather said he saw it in theaters. So.
Yeah, so there you go. It's an oldie but a goodie. And yeah, that's that. So thanks again to NHB Reviews for requesting us to watch this one. We had a lot of fun with it, and it's one that, you know, we branched out a little bit.
We did.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad we did.
And thank you guys so much for watching this review. As always, give this video a big thumbs up.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you later.